All right, so what am I doing? What am I doing? I got my light bulb yesterday. Here it is. It's a beauty. So I put it in the machine, I turned it on, and poof, it blew up. I was waiting such a long time for this thing. Anyway, it blew up. So this is the power supply that's inside the machine. It bolts in from the back. This is the back side of the microscope. And this is a power supply that varies between 3 volts and 12 volts with this potentiometer here. And I took out the bulb. I measured the voltage on the back. It was 47 volts. And then I said, well, it's unloaded. So I loaded it with a can you see the resistor? With a big resistor here, loaded it down. 20 volts. So the thing's not regulating. It's outputting a solid 20 volts at who knows 10 amps. And poof, yeah, that light bulb doesn't like, it got real bright for a second. And then it just stopped working. So something's wrong with the board, right? All right. So switching power supplies, what goes bad? It's always the capacitors, right? Always the capacitors, or maybe the FET. So I found some residue on top of the board. And said, leaky capacitor, leaky capacitor. I'll show you some pictures here, but yeah, leaky capacitor. So, and the leaky capacitor had a little tiny bulge on top too, and I thought, the vent blew, and that's the reason, and it'd be an easy fix. So I tested it in circuit, and it tested just fine. In fact, I've tested every single capacitor on the board, and they all test fine for ESR. So then I said, okay, well, I'll remove the capacitor. Took the capacitor out, measured it. It's a 47 microfarad at 385 volts. Measured it, measured perfect. Measured the ohms, the ESR, measured perfect. Measured the capacitance, 47, perfect. So this thing is perfect. So I figured, well, what's that bulge on the top? So I removed the plastic off the top, and the plastic, the top of the capacitor is just fine. It doesn't have a vent on top, and it's just fine. Now, maybe there's another vent someplace, but the capacitor tests just fine. So I don't think that's it. So then there's some extra residue on the other side. So I removed that capacitor, and it looks perfect. So the bottom of the capacitors are completely clean. Like whatever is on the board did not come from the capacitors. I think maybe something got spilled on it, possibly. So it was in a lab environment, right? They were always doing chemistry in the lab this was in. So I said, okay, well, let me test all the active components. So there's a dual diode here. It tests fine. There's a little transistor here. It tests fine. What other things test fine? Everything that I tested fine. I didn't see any shorts on the FET, although I haven't removed it yet, but I don't think the FET's dead. Otherwise, it wouldn't be giving me 20 volts on the output, I don't think. So I think it's in the regulator circuit in the back. I think it's outputting its max, 20 volts. And then it needs to have a feedback that says, don't do 20, do less. And so there's a little circuit over here. It's going to have a reference Zener. I think that's the Zener right there. So the Zener could be bad. Unlikely. And there's a real long optocoupler here that feeds the information back. That could be bad, but they usually don't go bad. The one component that I haven't tested yet, that my suspicions are right now, is this little 6-pin package right here, which is an op amp. So it's the voltage difference op amp. It measures the output voltage, and it measures the Zener diode, and then if it's too high, too low, it gives that information through the optocoupler back to the front of the circuit. And I don't think that's working. So what I'm going to do, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to run it and measure some voltages on the op amp and see how they go, and also see if I can inject a signal into the optocoupler and see if I can push the output voltage down. That would test the whole front of the circuit, and then I would know just the back end is dead. But right now my guess is this op amp is funny, but who knows? Who knows? So I think I'm gonna clean the board, get rid of that residue, whatever it is. I'll put the capacitors back in because they test just fine. And yeah, I could recap the whole thing, but I don't see a reason for it. They're nice caps too. They have three leads on them. I've never seen that before. I think it's a negative, positive, and a shield. I think the third. It's like measures at high ohmage too. It's kind of weird, but it's tied to the ground. These two are always tied together on the board, so I think it's a shield. In a switching power supply, it'd be nice to have a shielded capacitor, possibly. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Comment below if you know what these things are. I haven't run into them before. But yeah, let me clean the board, put the caps back in. We'll set up some test condition, and the little potentiometer plugs onto a connector right down here, so it should be all easy to go. There is just AC volts that go here, and then these 4 terminals here are for strapping. They're for the 220 volt thing. So I think I'll just jump these on the board to be 120, and then I can operate it and not have to worry about these leads here. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so I have machine up and running. I've got volts going into it, and I have my electronic load on it set to 1 amp, and I'm getting 8 volts out. And when I turn the knob, it goes down to 2.7, and I turn the knob the other way, and it goes to 12.2. It works perfect. Of course, it works perfect. So what did I do? I poked around on it. I took some capacitors out. I cleaned the board and put the capacitors back in. So, I don't know. Does it work? Am I scared? Yeah, I'm scared because I don't want to put another light bulb in. It's like $14 light bulbs. I don't want to be blowing out $14 light bulbs. I think what I might do, I might add a protection circuit to make sure this thing never goes above 12 volts. I could put in a 12 volt Zener and have it trip a fuse or an electronic fuse. Or maybe I just put it back in and say I fixed it. I don't know. Oh, I did do another thing which maybe could explain it. I hot wired the voltage. So that wouldn't explain it, I don't think. Anyway, I put jumpers on where the switch is to select it between voltage settings, and I just hardwired bridges on the circuit board. Maybe there was a bad connection there. Maybe it wasn't happy. That could be. All right, your guesses below. What fixed it? Was it the capacitors in and out? Was it the washing of the board? Was it the jumpering? Was it the camera? Putting it on camera scared it to death? Okay, let's try some big watts, okay? So let's do the calculation. We had a 100 watt light bulb, right? Where's it? So we had a 100 watt light bulb, 100, and we had a 12 volt bulb. That is 8.3 amps if you had 100% efficiency. Or I think those things are actually, they're not optical watts, they're actually power watts. So let's put in 8 amps. Let's do 5 amps to start with. Here's 5 amps. 4.3, and it goes up to 12. Let me set it to 10 so I know where we're starting. I'm going to put it right at 10 volts. A little bit farther. A little bit farther. Okay, 10.1. Okay, 5 amps, 6 amps, 8 amps. Oops. 8 amps. Yeah, 8 amps is great. 8 amps is working great. So this board works great now. What I'm going to do is put it all back in the machine, wait for my new light bulbs to come, and I will do a load test when it's bolted into the machine. I'm not going to take the jumpers off. I'm just going to put a note on the back of the instrument saying 120 volts only, please. And we'll call it good from there. I don't know. I guess the little op amp's doing its job. It's doing good. Oh well. It works that way sometimes. You know, you take it all apart, you find nothing wrong, you put it all back together, and there was nothing wrong.